Honorable Men Discord, streamer Sneako was attacked in New York City. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend and tell a friend I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So I have a few things in the queue. One is the video of when Sneako was attacked. The second one is of him hours later speaking on the attack. And then I have a reaction from someone on the attack. And then the last thing I have is just a little information on who Sneako is, because I've never heard of this guy. But this is something that was brought to my attention by my colleague. And my colleague, when he sent the video footage to me, he told me it seems like influencers are being attacked. I don't know if that's the case, and if that's what's going on, I mean, so be it. I mean, I don't think that it's a good thing, but look at the world we live in. Nothing surprises me at this point. But let me get into this video.
Muted. What the? Whoa. Hey, bro. Muted. Muted.
All right. I didn't intentionally play it back over and over again. But one thing I will say is that, let me just start by saying this. I don't respect anyone who swings on somebody when they don't see it coming. I wasn't a fan, never was a fan of, this was going on in New York, by the way. I was never a fan of when they were randomly hitting elderly people. I was definitely not a fan of that. I thought that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's so disrespectful, because we're all going to grow old. We're all growing old by the minute, by the second. And that was going on for some time in New York in various parts, just random attacks on the elderly. And this here is no different. I don't respect anyone that sneak attacks anyone. I don't care if you don't agree with his views and what he stands for. To sneak attack anyone is like the lowest thing you can do. Are you supposed to be respected for doing that? And then when I was putting this episode together, I noticed that some people were cheering on the fact that he got hit. I don't really know anything about this guy's content. I don't know anything about what he stands for. I had to actually look it up, right? And Sneako, whose real name is Nicholas Kenda Balantazzi. It says he's a controversial American streamer and content creator known for provocative commentary on politics, masculinity, and culture. Initially a YouTuber, he shifted to platforms like Rumble after receiving multiple bans for spreading misinformation and engaging in right-wing trolling, misogyny, and anti-Semitism. Okay? Listen, with all those things being said, with all that being said, he still has freedom of speech. And I don't respect anyone who's just going to run up on you because they don't like your point of view. There's not a man or woman alive that has a point of view that everyone agrees with. So what exactly are we talking about here? Why exactly did this even occur? It just can't be about the fact that you don't like what he's saying on social media. Now, again, I don't know his content. I would be leaning on those of you that are familiar with his content. Is he actually antagonizing people on social media? I don't respect that either. You know, don't play those type of games. You know, they have that saying, silly games get silly prizes, something along those lines. Yeah, I'm not with the whole intentionally antagonizing people for the sake of content. But I don't agree with this. I don't think it's right. And I don't applaud someone getting hands being placed on them unexpectedly. If you have a problem with him, stand in front of him, say, I don't like you, curse at him if you want to. But to actually swing on him when his face is down looking into the phone is ridiculous. I I don't know how successful he is in the space of streaming because I don't follow the streamers. I'm not a big fan of streamers, and I don't say that out of jealousy or anything like that or hate for the streamers. I'm not a fan of the streaming and just walking around and being live for multiple hours at a time. And I think you should, when you're walking around, especially in New York, I think you should be paying attention. Sometimes it's crowds of people, you're gonna bump into them, and all for what, a stream? It's just ridiculous. But yet and still, I don't think he should have received. I don't think he should have been attacked the way he was attacked. I don't applaud that. I think that's a sucker move, to be honest with you. If you have a problem with someone and you want to take it to the point where you want to fight the person, at least give the person a chance to square up with you. But then I know some of you are gonna jump in the comment and saying the streets anything goes. I still don't respect that. I don't even care if anything goes. If you got a problem with somebody, give them an opportunity to get it in just as you would like to get it in. If you really have that much of an issue with them, see them face to face and then just get it on. But for somebody to have their head down, or if they're with their family or something like that, or they're not paying attention, you come from behind and hit them behind the head. I don't respect anything like that at all. At all. And luckily he wasn't badly injured. He did mention in his stream, which I'm going to get to that right now, that he had a chipped tooth that he had fixed, but that chipped tooth, the piece was knocked back. It was knocked out when the guy hit him. But let's get into the second video.
Everybody's been calling me strategizing about how to do this, how to do that. I'm just going to be completely honest about everything. I'll say this. This was 100%. It's got to be a setup. It doesn't make sense that happened like that. Obviously, I didn't see him. I was looking at the chat. And yeah, I'll be honest, I got maced, bro. I got maced right after. So I got hit. You could see it in the video. I'm just going to be honest, bro. Everyone was saying that I could manipulate the situation and lie and stuff like that. I got hit a few times, get up, and immediately pulls out mace and then runs away. And I've never been maced before. It was okay. Just washed it out. I'm fine. This was literally 1 hour ago. So 100%, this doesn't make sense that it was a random person. He had it ready like that. And I'll handle everything. So don't worry about me. I got a lot of streams planned. We have that podcast in a second. I'm not going to harp on this forever. I have several ideas over who it could be, but I'm not going to, it's not, no point in speculating. I'll explain the whole story in a second. I have to go handle something.
All right, so let me say something. Again, I don't know his status. I don't know how successful he is in the streaming space. But if you're a streamer and you're successful, or even successful in the slightest bit, why not have security when you're walking around outside of just the cameraman? Have someone watching your back so these things don't happen. And even if these things happen, at least you have someone, a security guard that could step in and pull the person off of you. It just doesn't make any sense to just freely walk around. Are you that carefree and confident that nothing's going to happen? Once you get to the point where your brand is growing, it continues to grow, and there's a lot of eyes on you, you got to always be self-aware, and it's not just when your brand is big. It's not when your brand, it's not just when your brand is successful and you have a lot of viewers and subscribers. Just in general, once you put yourself out there in the public side, you always got to expect the unexpected. You always, to the best of your ability. And one of the best things to do, especially once you're out there, is to not always have your face down in the phone when you're just walking around in public. You should always be aware of your surroundings. So that was a slip up on his part. I mean, this has never happened before, I'm assuming, so he just never saw it coming, because when these things don't happen frequently, you're not thinking it's ever going to happen. But I bet you he makes the necessary changes now, as he should. This could have possibly been just, and this is why I don't like streaming also. When you're streaming for a long period of time, people are aware of where you're at. And someone could have just said, hey, I give you $20 if you punch that guy in the face. It could have been something as simple as that. I wouldn't even be surprised if that's actually how it occurred. Someone who recognized him could have been like, hey, $20, you go across the street and punch that guy in the face. $50. That guy who did it wasn't too bright, because clearly he's being filmed and you punch him and you think, what, that's it. Nothing's gonna happen to you. You're on camera. He's being filmed on a stream, and you punch him. You assault him. What, you think he's not going to press charges? He's not going to find out who you are? That made no sense. And for what? Did somebody pass him a $20, $50 to do that? It's retarded. And I don't advise people doing stuff like that, first of all, because you don't know who you are coming up against, and not everyone is going to take it on the chin as Sneako did. But again, he may come back with legal actions. Let me go into this video with this guy reacting to Sneako getting hit.
I just seen the video of that kid Sneako getting punched, and then him talking about it after and saying how it doesn't make sense and it must be planned. Bro, are some people really that not self-aware? Bro, you're not a likable person. You really think that was a setup? You really think there isn't people who don't... Does he think he's like... I don't know. Why are you so surprised by it, saying it's a setup? Bro, you're not a likable person. You don't spread the best energy out there. You also don't spread the worst energy. But the way you walk around like you're untouchable.
I really need to know from someone who knows Sneako's content, because that was confusing. You're not a likable person, but you're not...
Bro, there's people that don't take that.
It was almost like a contradiction what he said. I was trying to pull it back, but I don't have the bar. But what is this guy's content like? Is this guy really antagonizing people? Is he, what's his situation? And again, no matter what his situation is, I don't even condone running up on somebody and just punching them in the face. I don't condone that. So let's make that very clear. But this is what's going on here with his content.
I don't think it was a setup, brother. People, you saw somebody who's always trying to act tough, and they showed you're not that tough. Bro, not everything is going to be in the ring. Real life is not training. Like, you're just not a likable person, bro. Stop trying to make...
Not everything's going to be in the ring. Does this guy have a background in MMA or boxing? Is that what it is too? Because I did not see that on this. Manosphere streamer Sneako. It said he has been banned from YouTube multiple times, Twitch and TikTok due to content deemed offensive. Oh, so he's stirring the pot. I mean, but I don't agree with him getting punched in the face for it. Street interviews. He did man on the street interviews, high energy rants, and interviews with other controversial figures within the manosphere, a group of advocating strict traditional gender roles. Now predominantly streams on Rumble and creates content on X, focusing on a young, predominantly male audience. He has documented his conversion to Islam and often speaks on topics of religion and societal structures. Debate over, often highlighting tensions between free speech. Listen, none of this would, again, justify somebody punching him in the face.
Make sense of it. That's crazy that you're really that unaware of yourself. I don't know. I just wanted to say that. That's crazy to be surprised by it. Yo, I just seen the video.
Listen, just note to anyone, whether you live in New York, whether you are visiting New York, the density of people should be enough reason for you not to have your face buried in your phone at all times. All right? Because aside from him being a streamer who's quote-unquote controversial, you got to be careful out there. There was just a machete attack at Grand Central Station, and that person was unalived by police officers after he attacked, I think, multiple people. Listen, the mental health is a real thing. And again, in a high-density place such as New York City, you should be alert at all times. Forget about the fact that he's a streamer. Forget about the fact that He's a content creator, etc., etc. If you're in places like New York, you should be extra alert, more alert than when you're in other places, because there's just too many people around you. Don't get comfortable with the fact that, oh, I'm in New York and this is going to make great content. Pay attention at all times. I don't care where you are, unless you're in a place that's hard to get into, that's more VIP. And even then, you just never know. But those might be the places where you could let your guard down a little bit. But when you're out in the public, especially walking the sidewalks, you got to forget about all that, keeping your phone down. And what are you doing? All right, what are you doing? But listen, that's my thoughts on this. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with anyone being attacked for what they believe in and what they stand for. Again, there's no man or woman on planet Earth that everyone's going to agree with. We all going to disagree. This is why, for me, this channel's Honorable Men Discord. We're not going to agree on everything, but let's get through discussing these things respectfully. You know, I'm not on here claiming to be all-knowing. I'm not here to claim to be, invincible. All right, I bleed like everyone that's watching this channel. All right, so I would not expect for someone to see me in the street and be upset about one of my episodes. You got to be kidding me. All right, you just got to be kidding me. You could approach me in the street and say, hey, I saw that episode, I don't agree with you, and then we could talk about it like men. That's the whole purpose of this channel. But if someone was to do something like this to me, listen, that's just, you're a lunatic. I'm saying it right now. You'd be a lunatic to do something like this off of just disagreeing with an episode. And furthermore, this channel is really based on positivity and learning from different things that we see through trending topics. So I didn't mean to insert myself in this, but being that I am someone that puts my face out there, I just had to make that clear. But I definitely don't agree with what took place and what happened to him in New York City. I'm glad that, he's okay outside of him having to fix his chipped tooth. I don't agree with what took place. I think that was just senseless. It was a senseless action. Again, we all have our opinions, but we got to find ways to sit down and discuss it. No, there was no harm as far as, like, I don't know him having a history of attacking people himself or harming anyone's loved ones for him to be attacked like that. This is just ridiculous. There's so many things going on in this world, and you're attacking a streamer for his point of view. Just click him off. You don't have to watch his content. You just don't have to watch his content. He's not a political figure. He doesn't make any. Anything he says doesn't affect your livelihood. All right. But that's my thoughts on this. What's your thoughts? As always, I appreciate all of you for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Watch my video that's coming out this Friday. All right. It was shot in Brazil, and I had a ball shooting it. I wish I could just go into giving you backstories on it, but I'll share that for a separate time. But watch that video. Ironically, the video is called "Hate Me or Love Me." All right. But shot in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, had a great time. And yeah, part of this album is coming out May 22nd. That's a Friday. So I'm gearing up for that. Got a lot more videos to shoot, at least 5 more videos to shoot. And I'm having a ball whilst doing it. But as always, I appreciate everyone. As always, stay honorable.